S.S.S. Vayishlach, Tovshin Ayin Ches. This week, we are the week of the Bikur Cholim yearly Chinese auction. The phones are ringing off the hooks here tonight. Dozens of volunteers here putting lots and lots of work into making this event a success. And really, before we even get the share started, we want to recommend and try to encourage everybody to attend this event, to support this event. Bikur Cholim, goes without saying, is a type of organization that just does not know how to say the word no. And anything that's needed in the city of Lakewood, and now also around the country, many different places, is being provided by this wonderful organization. And once again, we encourage everybody to give their utmost support to Bikur Cholim of Lakewood. Now, throughout last week's Parsha and this week's Parsha, the Nesivos Shalom speaks about the different struggles that we as human beings have with the Yetzer Hara. And the Nesivos Shalom uses Esav and Lavan to describe the different ways that the Yetzer Hara approaches a person, has influence in a person, and tries to entice people to do averos. And really, the Yetzer Hara of Lavan behaves in its own unique and very specific way. And in last week's Parsha, if you recall, near the end of the Parsha, Lavan, in his tremendous arrogance, turns to Yaakov Avinu and he says the following. Yaakov Avinu is trying to convince Lavan that he never cheated him and he never did anything wrong to him. And Lavan turns to Yaakov Avinu and says, listen, Yaakov, Habonois benoisai, the daughters that you have are mine. V'habonim bonai, the sons that you have are also mine. Nothing is yours. V'choil asher atoroi elihu, everything that you see, everything that you have, Yaakov Avinu, Lavan says, is really mine. And the Nesivos Shalom tells us that this pasuk from last week's Parsha and continuing into this week's Parsha, this pasuk tells us about how the Yetzer Hara of Lavan influence us. And he brings from Badicheva Zatzal, and he says something very interesting. That what Lavan was telling Yaakov Avinu is that any mitzvah that you do, anything that you do to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm involved. And that's the way the Yetzer Hara of Lavan begins. He doesn't allow a person to be totally engrossed in Avodas Hashem. He mixes himself in, and the Yetzer Hara will tell us many times, it's okay to learn Torah, but let me just be a partner. Let me get involved with your Limud Torah. Let me be involved with you while you daven. And you know what? Let me mix into your chesed too. And it's a Yetzer Hara who puts a mum in the kodshim. You have something which is kodesh kodashim. You're davening. You're learning. You're chesed. And the Yetzer Hara says, you know what? He realizes he's not going to defeat you. He's not going to get you right away to stop learning, to stop davening, to stop doing chesed. So he tells you, you know what? Let me just be a partner. Let me be with you while you are doing all those things. And like we say in the Pesach Haggadah, you got to watch out for Lavan. You need to watch out for the Yetzer Hara of Lavan, because you know why? The Lavan bikesh la'akor es hakol. Of course, the Yetzer Hara of Lavan is not going to be happy just by being a partner, just by influencing you a little bit. Now the Yetzer Hara, once he has you, once he's a partner, and he mixes into your Torah, and he mixes into your davening, whether it's telling you, you could learn, but let me just have your cell phone ring a few times. Let me have you walk out of shir. Let me have you talk during davening. Let me have you interrupt your chesed. Once they become a partner, once they get involved, now the Yetzer Hara goes for the whole thing. He's already a partner. He goes and he tries to take over the whole thing. Mixing in is not going to be enough for the Yetzer Hara anymore. And what he does is he really becomes at the end, once he's a partner, the Yetzer Hara, once he's in the door, he's going to find a way to take over the whole thing. And now the children, you thought they were yours, they're all mine. The daughters are mine, the sons are mine, everything. All your Torah and Tefillah become consumed, where now the roots are already bad. So the Yetzer Hara is one of this pattern, says Nesivos Shalom. The Yetzer Hara that is alluded to by the life of Lavan. And he's not here to convince you right away and entice you to do things. But what he's doing is he gets in the door and he involves himself with your good things. And now, as time goes along, he wants to take over the whole thing. And now the roots become bad. The Lavan bikesh la'akor es hakol. Lavan wants to uproot the whole thing. So what did Yaakov Avinu tell Lavan? Yaakov Avinu says in our parsha, Im Lavan garti. He says, what does Rashi say? V'taryag mitzvah shamarti. That Lavan, I lived with Lavan, and I know the Yetzer Hara of Lavan. But Yaakov was now saying that Lavan did not affect me in any of my mitzvahs, in any of my ruchnias. Nesivos Shalom says another beautiful pshat over here, and this pshat is kedai to mamish to say over to listen, a very, very beautiful explanation. We know that when we say about Lavan, we say, Arami oived avi. Right? We say that in the Haggadah, Arami oived avi. Says the Nesivos Shalom, a pshat over here, that the goal of the Yetzer Hara of Lavan is really to make a Yid lose the feeling that we're supposed to have, that no matter what we do, and no matter where we are, we still have Avi. We still have our Father with us, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That Hashem will never, ever abandon us. And as long as we have that, and as long as we know that no matter what we do, and no matter how low we go, Hashem is always with us, then we're never alone. During the tough times too, we know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with us. And the object of Lavan, the object of the Yetzer Hara of Lavan, is that he wants us to lose that Arami oived avi. That Lavan wants us to not feel strong when times are a bit shaky. He wants us to feel that our Father is not with us, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, chas v'shalom, has abandoned us. And that is the Yetzer Hara of Lavan, to make us feel that when times get tough, when times are a bit shaky, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not going to be with us. And that, of course, gets a person into depression. That, of course, gets a person to lose their confidence. And now, on the other hand, in our parsha, we also have the Yetzer Hara of Esav. The Yetzer Hara of Esav is totally different. The Yetzer Hara of Esav is a Yetzer Hara of Taivas and Isser. And then within that Yetzer Hara too, we have two different facets of that also. Sometimes this Yetzer Hara comes to us as Esav. And what is that? It wants us to transgress Isurim. That's what Esav wants us to do. And then there's the Yetzer Hara that pulls us into the Taivas of Heter. The Yetzer Hara of Esav, again, is split into two things. Yes, it wants us to run after Taivas. But one part of the Yetzer Hara is maybe he's successful, maybe he's not sometimes. The Yetzer Hara says, I want you to do this, Isser, I want you to do that. The other part of it is where he tries to tell us that of Taivas of Heter. And Esav, he comes to us as a brother. He comes to us as being friendly. So Yaakov Avinu says in our parsha, Hatzileni no miyad ochi umiyad Esav. That Yaakov said, both of them, I want you to save me from the part of Esav that tells me to do Isurim straight out. And I also want you miyad ochi, from the Esav that acts like a brother, from Esav that tries to mix in and get me to be over on taivas that are really, really mutter. And we see he was more worried about that because he said the word achi first in the pasuk. And Yaakov has taught us the ultimate lesson and how to live your day-to-day life and daily activities of Heter. Yaakov was the one who turned all of our daily mundane activities into Kodesh Kodashim. Yaakov Avinu taught us how to travel. Yaakov Avinu taught us how to get married. He taught us how to work. He taught us how to do business. So Yaakov Avinu was afraid that now Esav is going to come, and Esav is going to try to get him to do Isurim. He's not going to listen. But Esav could try to mix into how Yaakov Avinu taught us, how to go about your regular everyday life. And that Yaakov Avinu was even more scared of. So before even saying Hatzileni from Esav, he said Hatzileni miyad achi. Someone that's going to try to be friendly and get into my life, into my daily life. Vayira ma'od vayetzer loy. He knew that he had to fight now. He split into two. Vayachatz es ha'om asher itoy. That he split his nation into two because he knew that he has to be ready for any way that the Yetzer Hara is going to catch up with him. He fought with the two Yetzer Haras of Lavan last week. And this week, he knew that he had to fight with the Yetzer Hara of Esav that might try to get him to do Isurim, but also even more so to the Yetzer Hara that tries to influence us not to behave like a Yid, not to work like a Yid, not to get married like a Yid, not to have children like a Yid, not to go about our daily activities. And that was even more scoring. That's really a lesson to all of us, that the Yetzer Hara comes at us in so many different directions and in so many different ways. And we have to understand that he tries to sneak in the back door. He tries to sneak around the other side of the house. And we have to be ready to fight all the Yetzer Hara of Lavan and also the Yetzer Hara of Esav.